The highly anticipated UFC 280 draws ever closer, which will be headlined by Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title. The two have been going back and forth for quite some time, and Makhachev might have given Oliveira the best bulletin board material yet. And Dana White isn't happy with Bob Menery mentioning his name. While several new UFC fights were announced, including the return of Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Islam Makhachev is currently riding a 10-fight win streak, which earned him a crack at the lightweight title. The title is currently vacant at the moment because Charles Oliveira missed weight last time, but many still believe that Oliveira is the champ. However, Makhachev isn't too concerned about Oliveira's skill set and the dangerous ground game, as Makhachev said, "I don't think this is the biggest test of my career. Maybe I beat some guy who has more skills, but right now he's the champion. And right now, at this moment in his career, because he has a good win streak, he had many losses before, and he finished all his opponents, he feels like nobody can stop him. But October 22nd, I'm going to come to the cage and stop him there." Triple C Henry Cejudo seems to be all in on the idea of Makhachev beating Oliveira, as he put out a video sharing his thoughts on the upcoming match. Just take a listen to this.
It's hard for me because I consider both of these guys my friends, like I really do. But if there's anybody that could beat Charles Oliveira, his name is Islam Makhachev. Because he has that one solid style. Same reason why I beat Demetrius Johnson. My wrestling overwhelmed whatever it is that he was bringing to the table. And wrestling can be your safety net, you know? So it's important for all of us to really understand the fact that one solid base like wrestling could probably neutralize anything that any martial arts can bring to the table. And we're gonna start seeing that with the new wave of Bo Nicka coming back and doing X, Y, and Z. And I do believe there's a whole new wave coming, so you guys prepare.
Makhachev followed this up with a simple to-the-point game plan as he tweeted out, "First round warm-up, second round drag him to deep water, third round get business done, inshallah. Can't wait for October 22nd. Of course, this makes the recent Charles Oliveira rant video even more relevant, as in it he called Makhachev arrogant and told him that it'll be Islam's arrogance that will cause his downfall. So let's take a listen to these possible prophetic words from Oliveira.
Uma das coisas que eu tenho mais para falar para vocês, presta atenção no dia de hoje, tá? Numa quinta-feira, dia de hoje, presta atenção que eu vou falar. A arrogância deles vai matar eles. Arrogância, tanto de empresário como de ex-lutador. A arrogância vai matar eles. Se eles pensam que eles vão vir pra cá pensando que brincando, eu vou te falar uma coisa pra você. Ninguém nunca vai me bater mais do que a vida já me bateu. Eu fui um moleque que fui tirado do sopro do coração, do reumatismo dos ossos, quando o médico falou que eu nem ia lutar na minha vida, nunca ia fazer nada do esporte, e eu se tornei campeão do UFC. Tô indo pra sua casa, meu amigo, lutar contra você pra fazer história e continuar como campeão dos pesos leves. Escuta bem o que eu tô falando pra você. A arrogância de vocês vai matar vocês, vai afundar vocês. Vocês estão falando um monte de besteira, vocês estão criticando, vocês estão falando um monte de coisa, e eu tô só na minha, levando, respeitando, como eu sempre respeitei todos vocês. Só que presta atenção, tudo aquilo que vocês falam tá na mídia, tá chegando, depois não reclama depois. Só isso que eu devo falar.
Now those words seem to have fallen on deaf ears as Makhachev continues his call-outs. Recently, he also raised concerns that Oliveira might not even show up to Fight Island to fight. This is what Makhachev just tweeted. 2 weeks before the fight, Charles and his team not in Abu Dhabi yet. Should I start worrying? So clearly the war of words has been ongoing, and Makhachev downplaying how dangerous Oliveira is and perhaps calling him scared with his recent tweet might just be the perfect bulletin board material for Oliveira to have his best performance. But we'll have to wait and see. In other news, UFC President Dana White had a lot of harsh things to say about Nelk Boys member Bob Menery. Currently, Bob Menery and Nelk Boys founder Kyle Forgerd are in the middle of an ugly financial dispute in which Dana found his own name being dragged to the middle by Menery. This didn't sit well with the UFC boss as he posted this message on his Instagram stories. "At Bob Menery, keep me out of your crybaby bullshit. You are an absolute puss, and I told you you are delusional and blew the biggest opportunity of your life. Now move on like a big boy. Yes, you introduced me and Kyle and then fucking cried about it forever, so I gave you 50K. So you would STFU. So now, STFU. It's embarrassing." Menery had his own side of the story, so let's take a listen to what he had to say.
It's actually really comical that he could even try and spin this in any way, shape, or form. guys, I will resort to this, okay? When Kyle and I went into a partnership, we made a commitment and a promise to each other. Regardless of how successful a show is, if a show is successful, it's going to make a lot of money, right? I had a portion of that money, right? But I was also promised multiple things that just never came to fruition, was danced around for months and months and months. At the same time, used my name, dragged through the mud, telling people I set up Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal, all this fucking shit that was a bold-faced lie, okay? Because I'd love to hear him address that. What about Colby and whatever, when you went on the internet and told everybody that I set up these guys and ruined my reputation, and if you Google my name, it's in every fucking Google search, okay? First of all, his money stuff, all the stuff he said on money, what he paid and all that, that's bullshit too. FYI, absolute fucking bullshit.
We also had a few fight announcements as well. The Patty show might be coming to Las Vegas, as Paddy Pimblett recently announced that he has his eyes set on UFC 282, which takes place on December 10th. This is what Paddy had to say.
And I mean, when are we going to see you? Can you talk about when we might see you back in the cage?
I'm planning on fighting December 10th.
Okay.
Cage Warriors. It'd be a
Wishful
while.
thinking.
Be a while before you see me on Cage Warriors. But
yeah, huge exclusive there.
Yeah, UFC 282, lad. I'm planning on fighting on that December 10th. So I'm just waiting for an opponent, lad. I'm waiting for someone to step up and sound on the dotted line. You know, everyone talks about the baddie. Everyone talks about fighting me, but when the contact's in front of them, you know, they're not as confident.
Now, Paddy might not have to search too hard for an opponent, as more than half of the lightweight division has been itching to fight Pimblett and make a name for themselves. One such fighter is Terrence McKinney, who has been calling Pimblett out for months and recently tweeted out, "Paddy does everything on social media except acknowledge me calling him out. He wants a fight, even as a date, but refuses to accept a good fight. Just give him another jobber, I guess." Speaking of upcoming fights, a couple of big ones having been rumored to take place in the coming months, the biggest being the rematch between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. As you will all remember, Edwards landed one of the best head kicks to take the belt from Usman, but now it seems as if the two are set to rematch early next year in a stadium in the UK. As Edwards said, to have it back in Birmingham and Villa. I grew up in Aston as well, where the park is, so that would be amazing. I don't think there's a roof though at Villa, so it'd probably be a bit difficult to do in early next year around February, March, April. Also, UFC is headed back to Australia on February 11th, as UFC 284 is set to take place in Perth. Of course, the current featherweight king Alexander Volkanovski is set to headline this homecoming, along with fan favorite Robert Whittaker and most likely Tai Tuivasa as well. It seems like the war of words between Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira will only get worse as the fight inches nearer. While we suggest that it's always a good idea to stay on Dana White's good side, otherwise you might find yourself getting aired out in public. Also, there is no shortage of entertaining fights coming up, which we're looking forward to covering in more detail. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell beside it so that you're notified the next time we upload a new video. With that being said, you just watched us break down the latest news in the MMA world, and we'll see you next time.